Office-XJTU's online promotion. And today we have introduced the School of Material Science and Engineering. And it's our honor to invite Professor Fang Huajing, Professor Fang, to join us this afternoon to give us an introduction of the School of Material Science and Engineering. Before we invite Professor Fang to get started, I just want to mention one thing is that while you are listening to the presentation, please do not use the noting function of Zoom, because what notes you have taken on your screen will also show on everyone else's screen. It's gonna affect us to see the presentation. So please do not take notes. If you want, you can take notes by hand or open up another Word and type in your own notes. Okay, just want to mention this one thing. And okay, let's welcome Professor Fang. Professor Fang, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Huajing Fang. It's my honor to be here. And today I will give some introduction about our school, Material Science and Engineering at Xi'an Jiaotong University. First, I will introduce about our school, Material Science and Engineering at Xi'an Jiaotong University, and then we will talk something about MSE-SA, which means the MSE sub-aliens of University Aliens of Silk Road. And the third part is about the cooperation and communication of our school. And finally, we will introduce admissions for international students. Okay, let's move to part one. Here is a brief history of our school. Starting in 1952 as the first major of heat treatment of metallic materials in China. And in 1963, we initiated as a research laboratory. And in 1979, a research institute was established on the basis of the laboratory. And 4 years later, the Department of Material Science and Engineering was established based on the major of metal materials and heat treatment. In 1988, the major of metal materials and heat treatment.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Professor Fang. I believe your presentation has some problem, or you did not start your presentation because it's stuck on our screen. It's not moving.
Okay. So let's go on. This is the outline of my talk. First, I will introduce about our school, MSE at Xi'an Jiaotong University, and then we will talk something about MSE-SA, and the third part is cooperation and communication of our school. Finally, we will give a brief introduction about the admissions for international students. Let's move to part one. Here is a brief history of our school. Starting in 1952 as the first major of heat treatment of metallic materials in China. And in
sorry, Professor Fang, sorry again, but the PPT is still not playing. It's stuck in the number 2 slide.
Here is a brief history of our school, and we talk about here. In 1983, the Department of Material Science and Engineering was established based on the major of metal materials and heat treatment. And 5 years later, the major of metal materials and heat treatment was rated as the first batch in China. And in 1994, we fully established as a school. And 3 years ago, we have successfully settled in the Innovation Harbor, a new campus of our university. Okay, as a typical major of science and engineering, students need to study with a lot of experiments. So laboratory is very important for MSE. Here, I will show some famous laboratory in our school. The first one is characterization of mesoscopic properties of materials and its multiscalar effects discipline innovation, also known as 111 Project 2.0. And the most famous laboratory was Static Laboratory of Mechanical Behavior of Materials. In Chinese, we call 国家重点实验室, which means the top or the best laboratory in China. And also, we have International Joint Lab for micro-nano manufacturing and measurement technologies. And these three pictures shows that our laboratory was distributed in 3 different buildings, and the former 2 buildings are located in Xi'an campus, and the last one is located at the new campus, Innovation Harbor. In addition to the 3 famous laboratory, we also have some important laboratory in our school. For example, the International Joint Research Center for New Materials, International Surface Engineering Research and Development Center, Xi'an Applied Research Center in China. With the help of local government, we also built some laboratory named by Shanxi province, such as Shanxi Soft Materials International Joint Research Center and Shanxi Magnesium New Materials Engineering Research Center, and so on. You can see that we have a lot of important and famous laboratory. So based on this laboratory, students can do a lot of different experiments inside our school. This slide shows the information about staff and students in our school. The left figure shows the faculty and staff. You can see that we have almost 200 staffs, and we have 57 professors and 51 associate professor. We also have 49 assistant professor and 23 technicians. Among them, more than 95% of teachers have over 1 year of overseas study experience. And as for students, we have 22% of PhD student, 45% of master student, and the bachelor student occupy about 1/3. Also, we have 46 international graduate students and 11 international students have got their degrees. Every year, we have 20 to 40 international students visit MSE for short-term academic exchange. For example, for the last 5 years, there are 6 international students have visited our group. They were from France and Australia. Okay, then I will talk about the research directions in our school. You can see that we have studied a wide range of materials. For example, the mechanical behavior of materials, functional materials, the surface and interface at the materials, and energy materials. Also, we studied about the electronic materials used in the electronics and spintronics. We also studied the organic polymers and the materials processing, such as casting. In another word, we have studied a lot of different materials, such as metals, metallic glasses, structural materials, ceramics, and some memory materials. Based on their shape, they will belong to the bulk materials, thin film, 2D materials, and some nanomaterials, such as nanowires, nanoparticles. And then I will introduce them one by one. The first research direction is about the mechanical behavior. We also have a state key library in this research direction. The teachers in these research directions mainly focused on the deformation behaviors and the phase transition of materials. They studied the relationship between microstructure and mechanical properties. They also studied the phase transition of materials and the microstructure tolerance at different length scalars. Also, they studied the size effect of deformation and phase transition. And in this research direction, a lot of outstanding research results have been published in the top journals such as Nature and Nature Materials. The second research direction is about the electronic materials. Functional materials mainly focused on the fundamentals and applications. So in this direction, it includes advanced materials for electronic and energy application, and switching oxides and some phase change memory. even for spintronics, dielectric, ferroelectric, and optoelectric. So in this part, we not only prepare materials, but also make device, and we also do some calculations. For example, here is some result shown by Professor Zhang Wei's group. They do some calculations about the phase change memories, and all these results have been published in the top journals such as Science and Nature Review materials. And the next research direction is about energy materials. In this section, we will focus on the energy conversion materials and energy storage materials. For energy conversion, we will focus on the organic solar cells, perovskite solar cells, and all-carbon solar cells. For the energy storage materials, which include liquid metal battery, lithium-ion battery, sodium-ion battery, and flexible battery materials. As for the organic solar cells, we have my college have published a lot of wonderful papers in the top journals, and these papers have been highly cited by the researchers all around the world. And as for the energy storage materials, such as the battery, my colleagues have got some exciting progress along with some battery companies in China. And the next research direction is materials processing. In the field of materials processing, we have rich experience in the following areas, such as metal solidification and casting technologies, and wear-resistant materials and composite, and as well as thermal spring coating technologies. Currently, we put strong emphasis on the following research directions, such as the novel 3D printing technology, techniques, and the energy conversion and storage device by advanced coating technologies. Okay, and these pictures shows the equipment and some good results of materials processing. Okay, the last research direction is about biomaterials. We focused on the fundamental research of different biometals, including but not limited to titanium, tantalum, and magnesium. Our strength is on the surface modification of biometals using different technologies such as hydrothermal treatment and sputtering to give metals with bioactive surface. We're also interested in using 3D selective laser melting to design and fabricate biometal scaffolders. After introduced the research direction, we also want to show you some state-of-the-art instruments in our school. We have high-resolution TEM, transmission electron microscope, and we have FIB, focused ion beam. And we have this machine, nanomechanics system, which can be used for mechanical behavior at the nanoscale. And for thin film fabricating, we have the sputtering machine and the MBE. For calculation, we have the computer clusters. And for characterization, we have the PPMS. So all these instruments are valued at about 30 million US dollars. And what's more important, many machines are developed according to our special design. So based on this equipment, students can get real data for their research. Here shows some achievements of our school. As the primary investigator, our school have achieved second prize of National Natural Science Award for 4 times, second prize of National Technology Invention Awards for 5 times, and 1 time of second prize National Science and Technology Progress Award. Since 2010, MSE has published over 4,600 research papers, including some top journals such as Nature Science, Nature Materials, Nature Energy, and Nature Photonics. Besides these research papers, MSE also holds more than 600 granted patents. Okay, as for the international collaborations, we can see from this map, since 2010, we have hosted more than 500 international scholars from 22 countries for academic visit. They are from world first-class universities and research institutions, such as MIT, University of Cambridge, Stanford, UC Berkeley, and Johns Hopkins. And next, I want to talk something about MSE-XJTU. Its full name is Material Science and Engineering Sub-Alliance of the University Alliance of the Silk Road. So we established this sub-alliance at October 1st, 2019. With this sub-alliance, we want to promote the spirit of the Silk Road and reinforce the international cooperation, such as the inter-university exchange, talent training, and so on. Also, we want to enhance the quality of material science and engineering. Here, this slide shows the meeting about the preparation. Up to now, the president unit is our university, Xi'an Jiaotong University, and we have standing director unit such as Tsinghua University, Beihang University, Wuhan University of Technology, and so on. We also have more than 30 members, including 29 university and 4 companies. Okay, so with the MSE sub-alliance, we have hosted a lot of great events and activities, such as the international workshop on materials behavior at micro and nanoscaler last year, and the international forum on advanced materials, and Silk Road International Symposium on the advanced functional thin film materials and surface coating. And for students, we also have the summer courses, and also we have the gathering party. And here is the cooperation of our school. You can see that we want to realize the inter-institute exchange and the research collaborations and nurturing talent, and for cultural exchange, even for social service, which means we can develop social service collaborations to help local or global development. And here is some information for graduate admission. Our school have 2 different graduate admission. One is for degree programs. MSE enrolls about 15 to 20 international students for different degree programs every year. Selection of the candidate starts from the November last year to the March this year. If you want to get some more details, please log in this website. And we also have the short-term exchange program. MSE also promotes the short-term exchange programs for research. So if you want to get more information, please contact us by the email. And here, I want to show some excellent students for you. The first student, the first one is this student here. And this is his teacher, Professor Zhang Wei. He got his PhD degree in our school, and now he's doing postdoc in Korea. During the studying, he published 3 papers, and all these 3 papers are covers. And the second one is this excellent student, Muhammad. He got his master's degree in our school, and now he is a PhD student in our school. During his studying in our school, he got a lot of different scholarships, such as Xi'an Road and Belt Scholarship, Shanxi Government Scholarship, and Chinese Government Scholarship. And this student have won the Excellent Student Award. And another example is for here. These 2 students, they from classmates to lovers. and now they finished their study in China and back to Pakistan. During their studying in Xi'an Jiaotong University, they got Chinese government scholarship and published one paper as the first author. And now they were both got good job back to Pakistan. So for international students, we also have some interesting activities such as the international get-together party and the Chinese and the foreigner student get-together party. We also have some sports such as the football game for international students. Okay, that's all for my talk. Thanks for your attention. And again, welcome to join us and build your dream at MSE.
Okay, thanks Professor Fang for a very detailed introduction about the School of Material Science and Engineering. And for your information, that our subject of Material Science and Engineering is also a Type A subject in all the Chinese universities, according to the ranking of our Ministry of Education. So that proves a high quality of higher education for all the students, no matter you're a Chinese student or international students in the School of Material Science and Engineering. So for the next part, I will further give you a detailed introduction on the scholarships and our application information if you want to become a member of XJTU and a member of Material Science and Engineering School. So wait a minute, let me share my presentation. My introduction to our university is quite brief. It's gonna be mainly about our scholarship programs and how to join us. The first part, as introduced by Professor Fang, that Xi'an Jiaotong University offers a quite comprehensive education system, and correspondingly, we have quite a comprehensive scholarship system, covers from bachelor to master and PhD. So the first scholarship we offer is for the PhD students. It's the International Freshman Scholarship. And as you can see in the slide, that the scholarship is divided into 3 different prizes. And the first prize is an exemption from all the tuition fee of first year. And the second prize is an exemption of 50% of the tuition fee of first year. And the third prize is an exemption from 30% of the tuition fee of first year. And all these 3 prizes have an additional plus. It's a monthly living allowance. But the detailed amount is to be determined by your performance during your selection and your first year's study. And when it comes to the level of master and PhD, we have these 4 major scholarship programs. The first one is maybe the most well-known one, is the Chinese government scholarship. It's for the, of course, for the postgraduate students, including free tuition fee and free accommodation and a comprehensive medical insurance and a monthly living allowance. This one is going to cover almost all the aspects of your study and life in Xi'an Jiaotong University. The next one is the XJTU Xi'an scholarship. And this one is sponsored by our university, and it's including free tuition and a monthly living allowance. The third one is our Xi'an Belt and Road Scholarship. And this is come from the scholarship of our city government of Xi'an. And it's including a monthly living allowance for 10 months a year. And the last one is quite special. It's only for the Chinese language students, including a 1 year, 1 semester, and 4 weeks Chinese language students. If you have friends or classmates who are interested, you can also introduce this one to them. But the first 3 are mainly for different majors of postgraduate students. And let's come to the second part. It's about how to join the XJTU in terms of our requirements, our application documents, and the procedures. So for the basic eligibilities for the bachelor applicants, the first of all is our age limit. You have to be between the 18 to 25 years of age and to be, of course, in a good health status. And after that, you have to get a valid foreign ordinary passport and a high school advanced diploma to be a bachelor applicant. And as you may know, some of our bachelor programs are taught in Chinese, so we may require you have a proficiency certificate in Chinese language, which is HSK4, with a score of 180 and a minimum of 60 in all the subskills. The application time has already started. It's from December 1st to June 30th. And the admission review process will including a review of your Chinese proficiency, your academic background, awards and achievements, and an interview. And for the requirements for masters and PhDs, we still have some little basic eligibilities. The first one is that the applicant must be non-Chinese citizen with a valid passport and still be in good health. And for the master applicants, you must obtain a bachelor degree ahead and be under 35 years of age. And for doctor applicants, you must get a master degree in advance and be under 40 years of age. And as introduced by Professor Fang, is that our application has already started. It's from November 15th to March 15th, which means you still have around 2 months for the application. So if you're interested, please hurry up. And there are some special attentions for the potential doctoral applicants, is that you may be required for an acceptance letter, but still, as introduced by Professor Fang, you are suggested to first go to our university and our School of International Education's website to get the correct list for our program and list for our professors to check their requirements to see if they're actually requiring this acceptance. And after that, you may start to contact or do your application. And here for all different types of applicants, I believe you still have to prepare all these application documents before you start applying online. The first document is your original highest diploma and its notarized copy. And if you are going to graduate it this year before July, you must give us a potential prospective diploma. And after the diploma, we need an original transcript in the latest study period. For example, if you are applying for a PhD, then we may require your transcript for master. And after that is the certificate of language proficiency. If you are applying for an English taught program, then we need your English language proficiency. And for the Chinese programs, we require your HSK. And after that is a photocopy of valid ordinary passport. And we still require a completed original physical examination record for foreigners and blood test report. And for this document, there is an example for you to download in our school website. And besides all these documents, we still require an application fee, which is 500 RMB for the self-sponsored programs and 800 RMB for the scholarship programs. You can now pay online by banking transfer. And other documents may also be required according to the different schools and different programs. And for your information, there are 3 notes for you to bear in mind. The first one is that all the documents need to be scanned, which means they have to be clear enough for us to check and review, and then upload into the application system. The second note is that any incomplete applications will be rejected, like all the necessary application documents I just introduced, but you failed to give us, well, if it's incomplete, we have to reject your application. The third note is that notarized Chinese or English versions are required for all the documents, because we used to have students whose documents are made in other languages, maybe including Russian or Spanish, which we cannot recognize. So far, we are only accepting the Chinese and English made documents. And after you get all the application documents prepared, you may now start your online application. You can see this is the link for our online application system, and you can finish all your application here. First, you should register your application account, and then you should fulfill your personal information, including your study plan and all the background infos. And then you can upload all the documents I have just introduced. And after that, you can pay the application fee online. And finally, you will complete your application. And we're going to email you for any further notice regarding your apply. And here's our contact. You can call or fax or write us emails, and also find us on our school website. As you can see from this slide that we are now newly open our account in Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Including today's webinar, the whole video will be recorded and uploaded into these different platforms for you to replay. It's better for you to follow us on these different platforms to get the most updated information. Okay, again, welcome to join the XJTU, especially for the School of Material Science and Engineering. And I believe that's my brief introduction of our scholarships and application info. Guys, if you have any further questions, we still have some time to take it. You can type in the chatting room. And first, I will share our contact in the chatting room for you to save. And okay, you can now see in the chatting room of our fax, email, and our website. And if you have more questions regarding the study of material science and engineering or application to the Xi'an Jiaotong University, you may ask in the chatting room. We are open for questions now, please. Oh, and maybe it's better for me to share again the slide for our the QR codes. You can take a screenshot or scan the code if you want and follow us on different platforms. Oh, I see a student asking, any chance of getting a scholarship in PhD without acceptance letter? Professor Fang, if you have any idea about the PhD's acceptance letter, if a student is applying to the School of Material Science and Engineering, is that necessary for application?
I'm still a student in master. Okay, I think first, if you want to get acceptance letter, you can contact with professors by email. And how to get Master Hope?
For the Master's Hope certificate from if you're a student currently in our university, you can contact your instructor in the School of International Education and to get your Hope certificate. And transcript as well. The transcript can be get all together with the Hope certificate from your instructor of our school, the School of International Education. You can just contact your teacher, and I'm afraid now we are under a bit of a lockdown due to the COVID-19, but after this lockdown, you can go to our office. For the students now currently are not in China, they are still available for contacting the, I see. You can still contact your instructor and see what they can do for you, because now we are also under quarantine in our home. When we can go back to our office, I believe maybe we can prepare these documents and post it to you by the international delivery. Yeah, sure, no problem. Well, if there is maybe no more questions, then I just want to thanks again to Professor Fang for joining us in this afternoon and introduce the School of Material Science and Engineering. Thanks again. It's quite honored for us to do this, because we all know that Xi'an is now under a lockdown of COVID-19 impact, but still we managed to do this webinar online. And for your information, that all our webinars today will be recorded and posted to our YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook account for you to replay and get all the information you need. And in the future, there are gonna be more webinars for different schools and majors. You can follow us on these different platforms to get the updated information to check the school and the major you are interested in. And thanks again to Professor Fang if you have any more words to share with us.
Thank you. It's my honor. Yeah.
Okay, thanks again.
So have a nice day.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, maybe that's pretty much everything for our webinar today. And we hope to see you next time in a brand new session of the XJTU online promotion. Thanks again and have a nice day. Thank you.